August the 22nd.
Okay, so this is the new map that I put together, which is like a bit of a, well, it's kind of like a Vietnam map, but you'll see. This is a 3 versus 3 we did yesterday. This is the first time it's actually been played as a 3 versus 3, so you'll get to see it kind of like play out. It gets a bit crazy, but yeah, it was the first time trying the map out, so here we go. So there's kind of 2 players in this game that are really important. The player right at the bottom here and the player right at the top here. They're the 2 that have the most ore, and in this game I was playing the top right, which is a little bit unfair because I knew the map because I made it, but just find enough players to get it running, I had to kind of play as well. But it's quite an interesting map. As you'll see, there's a lot of interesting features. So we've got DMZ here that's kind of like mined a bit trickier to get through and attack. See, getting attacked there, you can get blown up by the mines. But so there's these 2 are the kind of closest together here in the first kind of part of the game. They're fighting each other, I guess, and stuff, because they're really close. And then you have the kind of Ho Chi Minh Trail that starts up here and goes all the way down to the bottom. That's how they infiltrate the bottom really of the map to attack the main kind of southern base, which is here, and that's the main northern base there. So quite an interesting map. There's also 3 derricks in the top left too for the northern team, and there's 3 derricks in the bottom left for the southern team. But yeah, as you can see, green's just doing a bit of scouting there. Pushing up a little bit, just seeing what's around. It's definitely a map where you don't really know what's happening on the other side of the map. It's kind of that cut off that you've got no clue where they're going to attack you from. Basically, there's going to be a raid or helicopters come in. But it's definitely interesting. It played quite well the first time. And you may think these front 2 players have nothing, they have no resource whatsoever. They have enough to keep fighting for a little bit, but you'll see the kind of main strategy that I tried to show off in this game. The back player is the most important part of the game. He's the one who kind of determines the production of each side. It's his choice to it's his decision how he wants to play the game. He could build a massive army himself to fight, or he could help his 2 allies. Yeah, we're just going after our derricks on that northern bit now. Both sides kind of branching out a bit. Yellow's just not really building enough. Neb's just not building enough refineries really at the minute. So again, it's a slight disadvantage to them. They don't really know the map that well, whereas I have a bit of an advantage. I know it quite well. I can see it really. So I've set up quite a few of these because I want to kind of build a massive economy to kind of help my allies out really and boost them as much as possible. I've given Ulven here these derricks in the top left, so you can have them, but the only kind of concern that I've got is backing up this ally here, which is Damned. Giving him a bit of a help because I have all the ore, I have the gem mine and everything. And this is when Ulven goes on a bit of a scout to find out what our enemies are doing in the south, to have a look, so he gets to check out his base, see what they're up to. See them just, they're not harvesting the ore that well really, they've kind of left their ore fields whereas we're really, you know, smashing the mining really. So we get a pretty decent scat of what they're doing, but now what you'll see is me sending supply trucks to my ally, because I can't manufacture enough, spend all the money that I'm making. I've got to send my money to my ally, so I'm actually sending him these little supply trucks so he can manufacture a decent army as well for himself. So I'm literally producing one of them every 10-11 seconds, I think. So he's going to get 500 from me every 10 seconds, which he can use for himself. Whereas my focus is more around really infantry, kind of building up those kind of forces. Now you could see that as a waste, but in this kind of game you can only build one unit really from per building. So it's good if I offload some of my extra cash onto him really to build stuff. So we can both build it. Here you see green just sticking in my helicopter at the minute, pushing in there. It's not been that much of a fight at the minute, everyone's kind of holding back, it's not really pushing too much. But you could be really aggressive, I guess, with a few flame rushes. You could be pretty devastating on some of these bases. Especially if you've got some flame rushing at the back here, it could do a lot of damage, and there's plenty of ways to get in there. You could sneak through there. So this is when this kind of the battle really starts now. So we got a bit of artillery going on the DMZ area. This battle focused quite heavily on this area, the DMZ, but sometimes it goes into this bit here. But yeah, there's only a couple of crossings here, so it's not easy. You have to kind of go around. So at the minute it's just, you know, green needs to get some artillery up really, and your anti-aircraft guns in this game are really big. But as you can see, I'm still sending supply trucks down to him, so he's getting some money as well. Navy does work. These rocks are just kind of here to kind of just block any massive attacks, but you can get your subs out. There's a few different ways you can get around here that I've made. But Navy again is like a secondary attack on this map really. You can use it, but it's not ridiculously overpowered. So you can see a bit of a rush there. This artillery just stopping my men from getting in to do so much damage, but it was worth pressuring them really. And we've got a bomb, nuclear bomber down here, so it's all getting on faster. This is going to be pretty devastating if it gets to 6 nuclear bombs, but so as you can see, it's a bit of an aggressive attack. There's helicopters flying in, getting a little bit of scout there. We've got a little team on board his helicopter, sneaking it around. So we're kind of pushing them back from the DMZ, sending little parties across to attack. Got a little group here sneaking around. So there's a lot of covert kind of opportunities on this map. You can really take advantage of the stealth factor of spies and units to kind of, because there's so many ways into the north and the south you can kind of sneak in. But yeah, this is going to be the main focus of the battle really, this section here. Helicopters playing quite an important role. And just tried a little bit of an infantry attack from the flank. trying to put some pressure on yellow to force him to kind of, you know, build more defences. So there's a lot of kind of infantry battles happen in the middle. As you can see, the pressure's having quite a big effect on the battle, really, because you're kind of forcing them to kind of just, you know, there's defend. All they can do is defend, really. If you see what they can't even see us. There's a lot of little battles happening, so you can kind of attack from different directions. So I think at this moment in the game I kind of stopped sending in supply trucks. Oh no, I'm still sending a few actually out because I've got all the money at the back. I'm just sending them supply trucks, kind of fuel their economies so they can manufacture. Because they're, again, they're on the front lines, whereas I'm more of a support role in the back, sending them supplies. But it is interesting. And also we managed to sneak down there and capture their derricks too, whilst they weren't looking so much. Again, helicopters playing quite an important role in the game, just doing attacks here and there. He's about to get hit by, oof, that was a close one, he almost got taken out then by rockets. So there's quite a bit happening. Oh yeah, and we also turned off the fact that you couldn't build a new allies base, which was deliberate to kind of force people to use supply trucks more. So that's the reason these supply trucks are going down here, to feed him, because they can't just move up there. I mean, he's put an MCV up there, which is one possibility, and they've started to do that down there as well. But at the start of the game, the only way to get resources to your allies, to kind of boost them, really, is to send supply trucks down. So it kind of means, really, that if you look at the economy side of it, well, I guess kind of we've got more being earned on average over like the players. It's a higher rate because we're sharing the resources, whereas these guys are not sharing as much. So we're just trying to wear them down, really push them back. As you can see, a bit of a covert operation happening here again. Pushing right into kind of Saigon to take out his base. See? Engineer pushing for the cap. Is he going to do it? Is he going to cap him out? Oh, they've seen him. Is he going to be able to stop him though? Is it? Oh no! He's going to zap. That was so close. There you go. Angry Dad proving that he is actually the most angriest player on OpenRA. You know, these guys just playing into our hands, really. They just stay in their base. We've attacked them enough that we've forced them to build up all these defences around the base, and they're just completely scared out of their minds. You know, he's built these subs, but he hasn't really pushed out, and there is ways he could move out, but he just hasn't bothered. So at the minute, they are seeing us attacking him, but they're just not really doing much. You know, we're just hit and runs. And these little attacks don't really cost me that much money, but all they do is make me build more base defences, so that's just what we want them to do, really. And there we go. See, we don't realise how much they've actually got base defending. And they still haven't scouted that well. They still haven't seen our derricks in the bottom left. So yellow's being forced to kind of, you know, fight us outside his base. And if yellow kind of pushed up an attack now, it might put some pressure on us, but he just can't leave his missile covers. He can't leave his defences. So now you see green's trying to kind of push helicopters back a bit. And there you go, I'm still sending supplies to him so he can build up his helicopter fleet. Whereas I've kind of gone for MiGs and that kind of thing, really, to kind of boost my allies up. So as you can see, we're just kind of sending men along this middle part of the map, kind of attacking him from the cliffs, pushing into the bases. Getting this like centre base up here. You got Tanya kind of infiltrating, but this is kind of our main place to attack from. We're going to try to push in and hurt them a bit. So as you can see, this base heavily dependent on power supply. And we've actually got the nuke, but it's not been fired just yet. As you can see, it's quite heavily infantry based here. We're pushing with quite a few infantry. We've got ready to kind of siege this middle bit. Push down. There you go, Angry Dad again, proving that he's the most angry player. It's a very angry kind of character who just doesn't understand that building all these base defences is costing them all his money, and they're not actually defending him that well. He's got a little bit down there that he's not using at the front. He's got a little bit there that he's not pushing to the front, so he's got lots of men around, but he's not really kind of pushing up to help his allies. So it's all about teamwork, really. So as you can see, we've got pretty good hold. We're pushing into their area now, kind of pushing in, picking off the occasional kind of units. It's a bit of a kind of jungle mountain base, kind of. We just want them to attack us, really, to bring in the units. So they've actually got a lot more miners now, and in comparison we've kind of mined out a lot of our areas, but again it's about pushing up with different units kind of taking over. As again, just keep sending supplies. So as you can see it again, we've got a more kind of evenly distributed amount of ore compared to them, whereas it's very, you know, heavily in favour of yellow, more so than these ones. And there you go, that was our nuke. And here blue tries to set up a base inside there and do like a bit of a insurgency, but yeah, here we go. Yellow sees our kind of middle base and tries to push out, but again without his air cover, you know, this is the problem. You see yellow, green's got all these flat tracks, He should have had them here helping his planes, but you know, they're just wasted down here. So green kind of, it's not, Angry Dad's kind of failing the minute to kind of help his teammates. So I try to send a bit of a force in, just kind of testing his defences, seeing how strong he is, whereabouts. At the same time, you know, green launched a nuke against blue, which kind of damaged a lot of his things. But luckily we've got a decent amount of stuff to push in with. We've got helicopters, we've got infantry, MiGs. He's got subs that he isn't using, but that's kind of his own problem really. He's not really using those. He can get them through there, but he just doesn't seem to want to do it. Just using the helicopter advantage of air power to kind of overpower them really, and you know, take them out. But here we go. This nuke here is crucial really. It's got all of this power gathered around here, so it's an obvious target. But and there you go. So that knocks out his power supply, so now it's the best time to go in really. So we're hitting him, you know, from the air, from the land. Pushing him with a absolute swarm of Hinds, and that's where all the supply trucks went into this air power that he managed to build up. We've got a decent force there as well, but this is where the main insurgency is kind of taking place. We're pushing in, and now the Ayumi decides that it's just too much for him. He can't take it. You know, his allies have all these units, but they're just not helping him. So, you know, Angry Dad again, just getting completely angry about everything. Just raging, because he's not helping his allies. There's a bit of damage there to my V2s. Yellow's gone for quite a high technology unit there to try to push blue out of this side of the country, but it's not going to work really. It's not going to work because it's just too high tech really. You know, there's only 5 units there against all this. It's just not going to work, is it? The blues forced kind of push more men in here, I think. Just get rid of his V2. So now we've firmly kind of taken route. We've set up a bit of a bridgehead here, and we've taken this side of the river, prepared the bridge, and we can put men across really. So it's taken about 23 minutes, but we've finally kind of secured this side of the map. Now we can kind of start pushing into these bases here and really start doing some damage. Again, these infantry waves, they're just kind of more to kind of keep them back and stop them pushing up, because that's the whole point of this map really. And look here, we've got a bit of an ambush set up. It's this, you know, yell Fleming Nebby is trying to set his men in. Just absolutely getting trashed because he's just not watching what he's doing. Again, he's got a force over here which isn't, you know, it's not really doing much. They're just getting attacked along the whole front. Just absolutely, look how many Tesla coils. He's got like 15 or something, I bet, Tesla coils around his base. So as you can see here, just doing a bit of bombing. And again, Angry Dad just rage quitting. He just can't handle it. He just can't take the stress. You know, he had all these subs that he didn't even use. He just kind of waited there. And Yellow lost a bit of a push there that he lost force. And it is really stuck. I mean, they've lost so much territory. They've been forced back, to be fair, and they've just got these kind of 2 bases left. So it's not looking good for them at the minute. They had a decent start, but they just kind of can't defend this many angles, really. So Blue proper sets up a nice defence line there to stop him encroaching on this area. Gets his mining bases up. Again, we're trying to push in a bit here, trying to take out some Tesla coils, but managed to get one, but he has got quite a few. So there you go, now it's a 3 versus 2, so at this point we're pretty happy with our position. We've got a good good level of control here. It is literally now it's Yellow against us. We all got to do crush this base. There's one big base to take out left now, really. So we're forcing the position, really pushing up. As you'll see here, I bait him. This V2 is a good target to take out, maybe. Oh! And it was a perfect trap. 4 MiGs down, and it still survived. So, good trap there, taking out his MiGs. That was probably the best thing that I killed in the game, but we've really kind of pushed the limits, really, of what we can do. Forced our way down. We've got 2 atom bombs ready as well, so that Yellow's base looking really big now. Won't be bigger much longer. So that's where I'll launch mine, right there on his main MCB. And there we go. Absolute devastation. Which literally shuts down all of his defences. They're all down. So now with this kind of this beachhead, I mean, to be fair, we've kind of we had this game probably by about 23. Kind of pushing our way along the coastline. Yeah, and so basically that's when he disconnected, and now it is literally just finishing off, to be fair. So we just literally you can just see the flood of men coming down there, swarming into his base. This is the final kind of capture point. So this is all the North's just pushing into. It's a bit of a repeat of history, really, in a way, pushing in to retake the South. You know, raise the red flag. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little game cast on this new map, and if you want to play the map, just download it from the link on the video right now. It's just it's a map that's only really in the early stages, but it's developing. There's a lot of changes that can be made to it, but I think it is developing quite well. You've got two different sides here fighting each other. Got helicopters, infantry, artillery, but you know there's a good mixture of stuff there that's being used, and there's a lot of different ways you can attack, so it should be quite interesting to see. And this time it kind of came across this area, but in other games we had here being quite important, and up here as well, so it can change a lot depending on who's playing. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the cast, and I'll catch you later on the next one. Cheers.